Good morning. Welcome to Christian Devotions with Adam. Today is Tuesday, September 2nd, 2020. And I'm reading from our Daily Bread Christian Devotion. The title for today's devotion is The Whispering Gallery. In my distress, I called to the Lord. I cried to my God for help. Psalm 18:6. In the towering dome of London's St. Paul Cathedral, visitors can climb 259 steps to access the Whispering Gallery. There, you can whisper and be heard by another person anywhere along the circular walkway, even across the enormous abyss nearly 150 feet away. Engineers explain this anomaly as a result of a spherical shape of the dome and the low intensity sound waves of a whisper. How we long to be confident that God hears our agonized whispers. The Psalms are filled with testimonies that He hears us, our cries, prayers, and whispers. David writes, "In my distress I called to the Lord. I cried to my God for help." Psalm 18:6. Over and over again, he and other psalmists plead, "Hear my prayer, my voice, my groans." Sometimes the expression is more a whispered, "Hear me," where the heart meditated and the spirit asked. In answer to these pleas, the psalmist, like David in Psalm 18:6, reveal that God is listening. From his temple he heard my voice. My cry came before him, into his ears. Since the actual temple wasn't yet built, might David have been referring to God listening in his heavenly dwelling? From his very own whispering gallery, in the dome of the heavens above the earth, God bends to our deepest murmurs, even our whispers, and listens. Today's devotion was written by Elisa Morgan. And, sometimes you go through life and it's just like, God, don't you hear me? Don't you hear me? Don't you hear me? And the thing is he does. He hears you. He hears you. And he takes those prayers and he's working on a great plan for your life. And it reminds me of something I said a couple of devotions ago, that when we're going through trials and tribulations and, we're really being tested in life, God as the teacher is sitting at his desk, so to speak, quiet. He wants us to do our very best at our test, or our trial, or whatever it might be that we're going through in life, so that he could better teach us. So sometimes God isn't just sitting here blabbing in our ear of what we need to do and stuff, because he knows that would overwhelm us or that would distract us. But he just sits back quietly and he just puts things into motion. He taught us, he brings people into our lives, whatever the scenario might be. But even though God might be silent in some aspects, or he might be silent in a portion of your life, don't think that he's not listening. Don't think that he's not in the background actually laboring very hard for your success, because he is. So I'd like to end today's devotion with the prayer and the reflection. Dear God, give me courage to whisper to you today, trusting you to hear and respond. In Jesus' name. In Jesus' name. just think today, what do you long to whisper to God today? How can you know that he hears? One thing that somebody told me a while back is write down your prayers. I'm not, I, it's kind of not really my thing, even though I probably really should do it. It makes a lot of sense to do it. It's just I'm not a very big journalist person. You know, I don't have a journal or something like that I write things down all the time. But you know, this really does make sense, and I should really try to implement it in my life. And I think that it would bless you a lot, especially if you guys like to write or whatever. Um, to write down your prayers and in a journal, and then as God answers those prayers in your life, you could journal how He answered them, and then you always have a book of remembrance, so that when your faith starts to get small, you start to get discouraged and depressed and stuff like that in life. All you have to do is read your journal, and you could be lifted up, because it's not something that you're just reading from a Bible or you're reading from somebody else's, like, hey, this is what God's done for me. This is actually you, and it can't be refuted because you actually experienced it. So yeah, write down your prayers, and write down how God answers your prayers. That's one good way. And don't be afraid to talk to God. Don't be afraid to pray to Him. I'm trying to encourage myself, or remind myself to talk to God more often throughout the day. So I have an alarm on my phone that goes off, just reminding me, you know, because sometimes I forget. Sometimes I get busy and I'm all about doing this and that, and then all of a sudden the alarm go off, and I'm like, oh, okay. And then I just take a moment of silence, or I just take a moment and, you know, try to get back into that groove of talking to God throughout the day. So, hey, God bless you, and you have a wonderful Tuesday. I will see you soon. Bye for now.